In the era of modern globalization, each country is pursuing the progress of its respective countries. Development has been carried out in selected places without emphasizing the problems that will arise to the environment as a result of development or communities that neglect cleanliness in an area. Pollution is a direct or indirect change to the environment. Pollution that occurs in any part of the environment consists of physical, chemical, biological, or radioactive properties. This will directly affect the area and can cause environmental conditions that are harmful to nature and the local community. The ecotourism area in Teluk Melano was selected to see the extent to which this area is affected as a result of the pollution that occurs to the environment. Ecotourism areas are the most affected area due to pollution in the area. This study was conducted to identify the causes and effect of pollution in the ecotourism area of Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak. Ecotourism is a center of attraction for domestic and foreign tourists. Alternative tourism, ecotourism, and soft tourism have all been proposed or valuable methods for ensuring sustainable natural resource usage. Ecotourism plays an important role in improving our country's economy. The beauty of the environment that is very unique in our country must be taken care of to attract more foreign tourists to visit our country. However, the arrival of tourists visiting ecotourism areas in the country also pollutes the beauty of the area. This is sad because the attitude of some tourists who are careless and do not care about the cleanliness of the tourist area causes a lot of garbage to be dumped in the area. This has to lead pollution, especially odor pollution. This will affect the cleanliness of ecotourism area. For example, in Terengganu, about a ton of garbage is collected from 22 resorts, and most of the rubbish collected was beverage bottles and plastic foods wrapper dumped around the coastal area. Environmental pollution in ecotourism areas have caused visitors not want to go to the area because they are not comfortable with the surrounding conditions that are full of garbage and very smelly. The economy will suffer. Ecotourism must be conserved to foster a responsible community. Thus, researchers aim to identify the reason of environmental contamination in Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak. This issue must be handled soon before it spreads.
The research question that we use for this research is first, to what extent is the source of ecotourism pollution faced by the Teluk Melano area? Second, to what extent does ecotourism pollution affect the area of the Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak? And lastly, to what extent is the community in Teluk Melano taking steps to take action on the problem of ecotourism pollution? Okay, next, the objective of this study is the researcher want to investigate and identify the causes of environmental pollution in ecotourism area in Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak. Then the researcher want to explain the effect of environmental pollution in ecotourism area in Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak to foreign tourists. Lastly, the researcher wants to describe measures to address environmental pollution in the area.
Significance of the study, researchers choose to identify the causes of environmental pollution in ecotourism areas in Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak. In addition, researchers also focus on the effects of environmental pollution on foreign tourists visiting the study area. Pollution in Teluk Melano, ecotourism will affect the arrival of tourists to the place. Many studies have concluded that environmental pollution occurs due to irresponsible human attitude. In this study, we present the effect encountered when the occurrence of environmental pollution occurred. The study will assess the extent to which environmental pollution is affecting ecotourism in Teluk Melano. It will also assess what measure has been taken to ensure that this does not continue. This study will also be used as reference source and catalyst for related study in the future. Now let's move to methodology. Research design. The study design for this study is based on the method of literature annotation, which will describe all the information and comments from other researchers related to the causes and effects of environmental pollution in ecotourism and investigate measures to address environmental pollution. Each piece of data that has been collected through a journal article can express and dissect ideas from sources that have been classified into each indicator that describe the context for the causes and effect of environmental pollution in ecotourism in the area. It also talks about some of the argument, methods, and conclusions that can be drawn from the sources that were used to analyze the data that can be used in this study. Research locations. Teluk Melano, which is located in Sematan, Sarawak, is going to be the site of this investigation. A short distance from the heart of the city is where you find the quaint town of Teluk Melano. Approximately 100 households make their home in Kampung Teluk Melano. This region is a popular destination for vacationer to come and enjoy. However, as a result of many different circumstances, this region frequently has environmental contamination concerns. The ecotourism industry in the region will most likely suffer as a result of any environmental contamination that takes place there. Because of this, the researcher is now interested in selecting this area as the subject of the study. The researcher want to know how much ecotourism contribute to the damage that is done to the environment in those places. Population and sampling. The community that is directly involved in this research is located in Teluk Melano, Sematan, instead of the Sarawak. The population that was chosen to be studied had a wide range of age, occupations, and sexual orientation represented within it. When it came to the age of respondents, the researcher placed a cap of 21 years or older on the age range of those who participate in study. This study analyzed a complicated population to come to its conclusions. The act process or technique of selecting an appropriate sample or part that is representative of a population to determine the parameter of characteristic of a population is referred to as sampling. Sampling can be done to determine the parameters or characteristics of populations. For this reason, the sample size for this study needs to consist of 30 people who are residents of the Teluk Melano community in Sematan, Sarawak. We could test our ideas about how the population is met by using samples. Sampling techniques. The sampling technique employed is simple random sampling, a random sampling technique. According to this technique, every event in the population has an equal chance of being included in the sample. This study focused mostly on the residents of Teluk Melano, a village in Sematan, Sarawak. Next is data type and collection technique. The investigation comprised both primary and secondary data. A questionnaire was administered to residents in Teluk Melano, Sematan, Sarawak to collect primary data. Image and pra-record interview reply were also used to collect data as evidence for the study. Secondary sources are already made, things like books, journals, and reports from previous study that are used to back up the study with site evidence. This research utilized both qualitative and quantitative data. Interviews based on questionnaire yielded qualitative information, while quantitative data is obtained in the form of number from the study's finding. Qualitative data is obtained in the form of words. Researchers use descriptive statistical tools to figure out the frequency and percentage of the study's result. Lastly, part in methodology is research ethics. Ethical considerations in research are a set of guiding principles for conducting research. The researchers adhere to the method and ethic of the study by ensuring that the respondent's true name was not disclosed and that each respondent's involvement in the study was voluntary. Important components of research ethics include voluntary involvement, self-determination, physical and psychological or mental injuries, the researcher's identity, personal confidentiality, the difficulty of the transaction, defection, fraud, and copyright. Research ethics are important to make sure that the findings of one researcher can be used by the next researcher.
A total of 30 respondents from different ethnic groups and marital status in Teluk Melano, Sarawak participate in this study. Table 3 shows the question about the lack of rubbish bins cause pollution. Most respondent answer is strongly agree, which is 10 respondent. People litter for a variety of reasons, including a lack of public waste bin, overflowing dumpsters that are not collected regularly. Next, table 4 shows the question about does arbitrary waste disposal cause pollution. Most respondent answer is strongly agree, which is 10 respondent. Soil, water, and air pollution are likely to occur as a result of inappropriate waste disposal when any of these are contaminated with hazardous compounds. Next, table 5 shows the question about the cause of whether the unsystematic collection and handling of garbage collection cause pollution. Most respondent answer is strongly agree, which is 21 respondent. A lot of rubbish in the area is not well maintained, thus inviting discomfort among visitors. Table 6 shows the question about do natural factors cause pollution. Most respondent answer is agree, which is 11 respondent, while the least respondent answer is disagree, which is 2 respondents. Next, table 7 shows the question about the position of rubbish bin away from the seat cause pollution. Most respondent answer is not sure, which is 12 respondents. Most respondents are not sure of this cause, which contributes to the pollution of ecotourism areas. Table 8 shows the question about the cause of lack of concern for cleanliness causing pollution to occur. Most respondent answer is not sure, which is 11 respondents. Table 9 shows the question about the cause of whether the weak of enforcement from the authorities cause pollution. Most respondent answer is strongly agree, which is 11 respondent. Many argue that the weakness of law enforcement is among the cause of irresponsible parties who dare and continue to commit offense by dumping pollutant into rivers. Next, table 10 shows the question about the causes of pollution is the disposal of domestic waste causing pollutions. The most respondent answer is strongly agree, which is 17 respondents. According to ISA 2021, waste and the food containers, water bottles and empty beverage cans including wine cans are scattered and left on the shoulder of the road, on tables and chairs without being thrown into provided bins.
Impact of pollution on ecotourism area. Table 11 smell pollution. KDA respondent 93.3% agree environmental pollution causes smell pollution, while only 2 respondents 6.7% did not agree. Table 12 affecting marine ecosystem. 29 respondents 96.7% agree pollution affect marine ecosystem. 1 respondent 3.3% stated no. Table 13 the beach and the sea are littered show 30 respondents agree the pollution damage the coast and pollute the sea. Water pollution. 39 respondents 96.7% agree with the effect as a result of ecotourism activity. 1 respondent 3.33% disagree that ecotourism has caused water pollution activity to occur. Graph 1 lack of tourists. 35 respondents 83.3% agree with the effect of causing a decline in the number of tourists visiting there, while only 5 respondents 16.7% disagree. Table 15. The beauty of nature is affected. All 30 respondents agree the pollution affected the beauty of nature. Pie chart 2 shows 23 respondents 76.7% agree the pollution has affected the source of income as a small trader. Meanwhile, 7 respondents 23.3% did not agree. Table 16 shows all 30 respondents agree ecotourism activity has affected the health of the population due to pollution. Next slide is about measures to deal with pollution. Pie chart 3, can this pollution be reduced by enforcing the law? 35 respondents, 83% agree this pollution be reduced by enforcing the law. Only 16.7% respondents disagree. Pie chart 4, in your opinion, what steps can be taken to curb this pollution from continuing to occur? The respondent 37% thought a need to provide early education or awareness, more trash can, and enforce the law. Only 1 respondent 3% think always make monitoring from the authorities and notify tourists using no littering sign. Pie chart 5. Is there any action by the authorities to reduce the pollution that occurs? 90 respondents 63% stated yes, while 6 respondents 20% not sure. 5 respondents stated there is no action by the authorities to reduce the pollution that occurs. Table 20. In your opinion, does the mass media play an important role in tackling pollution that occurs? Majority of 30 respondents agree that mass media play an important role in tackling the pollution that occurs. Pie chart 6. 16 respondents 53.3% stated yes that the community in the area hold the first gotong royong. 9 respondents 30% not sure. Meanwhile, 5 respondents 17% stated community in the area does not hold the first gotong royong. Pie chart 7. In your opinion, are the community in the area carrying out their responsibility in curbing the pollution? 23 respondents 76.7% stated yes. 4 respondents 13.33% stated community did not carry out their responsibility in curbing the pollution. 3 respondents 10% stated unsure. Pie chart 8. Is there any systematic waste management and planning in contaminated area? 16 respondents 53.3% stated yes. 6 respondents 30% stated no systematic waste management and planning in contaminated area. 8 respondents 26.7% stated unsure. Last pie chart 9. Do you have any other suggestion to reduce the pollution happening in the area? 8 respondents 27% increase the number of bins in the area. 6 respondents 20% enforce law related to garbage disposal penalties.
Only one respondent, 3.33%, stated trust visitors who buy food using plastic and need for cooperation in reducing the sources. Next presenter.
In conclusion, the researcher has achieved all three objectives that required in this study. There are several causes of environmental pollution in the area that have been successfully identified by the researchers. Not only that, we can see the effects of environmental pollution not only on humans but also on animals and plants. Therefore, several measures have been proposed to reduce this pollution from occurring. I hope all tourists who come to Teluk Malano Sematan keep the environment clean and take care of the beauty of the environment before it is polluted. This will attract more tourists to visit Teluk Malano for a vacation at there and enjoy the nature.